Good evening to you all from Mendipata College, North Garo Hills, Meghalaya, India. Welcome to the second day of three-day virtual workshop on research methods, tools, and techniques for research design. I am Tony Curtis M. Sangma, one of the conveners of this workshop and assistant professor in the Department of History. Today we have two speakers. Uh, Firstly, Dr. Hadi Haderi, and secondly, Dr. Amrinder Kaur. So our coordinator will be introducing them later on. So on behalf of Mendipata College, the organizer of this workshop, and Cap Comarin Trust, would like to welcome our two speakers, Dr. Hadi Haderi and Dr. Amrinder Kaur, to the second day of the three-day virtual workshop on research methods, tools, and techniques for research design. Now, I would like to request Mr. Bhaskar Joydeep Vora, the workshop coordinator, to introduce the first resource person. Sir.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Once again from Mendipata College, Meghalaya. I, Sri Bhaskar Joydeep Vora, coordinator of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Mendipata College. Welcome all of you to the second day of the International Virtual Workshop on Research Methods, Tools, and Techniques for Research Design. Today, the first technical session will be taken by Sir Dr. Hadi Haderi. Sir Dr. Hadi Haderi is an English teacher in Ministry of Education in Iran and a lecturer at Gilan University. Sir is a PhD graduate of TEFL at IKIU, member of Provincial Teacher Development Group, research groups, and provincial head of English language course for the second grade of high school in Gilan province. Sir has written and published different books and research articles. His areas of interest include second language acquisition, language identity, teacher development, and curriculum development. We are very fortunate that we have Sir Dr. Hadi Haderi amidst us today. Now, I would like to invite Sir Hadi Haderi to deliver his talk on the topic avoiding plagiarism. Sir, please.
In God we trust. Do you have my voice, my friends?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Hello to everyone all around the world. I'm Hadi Haderi from Iran, from Gilan province, and I'm so pleased to be with you. Today we are going to talk about language and different issues like plagiarism, and also we are going to talk about some fraudulent actions which we can use in the way of making some research articles. For example, there are some techniques, tools, and some properties of using the language that we can use in order to make our language system more versatile. And however, there are some ignorances that we can have in the way of making our research articles, which may be done inadvertently, and they can cause some problems. Okay, let's start with our slides. Avoiding plagiarism is the topic of today's conference. You know that we need to do some research articles. However, there are some actions that make our research article to be in doubt. For example, there may be some researchers who perform some research misconduct, and 1 out of 6 researchers in the world who have published research articles seem to be not aware of the fact that they are doing some fraudulent actions. And 15% of research articles published in the world include some fraudulent actions that the researchers may not know exactly that they are doing some misbehaves. Okay, let's see what do we mean by fraudulent research actions. The first is data fabrications. Sometimes the researchers may change the data in order to meet their needs and in order to conclude into some false results in recording and reporting, and they try to violate their results in order to make some specific results based on their research questions. This is the first kind of data fabrication and fraudulent action. The next one is falsification. In falsification, you may have some multiple research papers, and you may try to use different sections of each of them. For example, the meta sections, the results sections, the introduction. You may write, for example, literature review, but the other parts are not from yours. And you may try to have some data and try to write some research articles based on those data, which will lead in falsification of the data. And the most important one, which we are going to talk about in details, is plagiarism, which is stating and owning others' words and ideas, results, and counts without mentioning the name and crediting the author. You know that sometimes we may have some ideas, but we don't know where we have grasped those ideas. So sometimes it may lead to some plagiarism. Therefore, whatever we use in any kind of literature, we should have referencing to it. For example, sometimes we have some ideas which come to our mind based on some movies, some actions, and for example, speech with some great people. We should credit them. We should borrow them and talk about them in order to show that we are some honest people and we are not doing some misbehavior in their research. Okay, what do we mean by plagiarism? Copying a person's words, ideas, or works without referencing that are pretended to be done by someone else. This is the definition by Longman. It can happen inadvertently when the people do not know how to report their results without plagiarism. Therefore, when we talk about plagiarism, the first thing should be that we should train our learners. And we should pay attention to the thing that most of the works done by the students may be unintentionally done, and they should be informed about the misbehavior. When you are writing a large quantity of materials and cannot embed others' words and ideas within yourselves, it is another kind of plagiarism. So you should know about different citation skills in order to have better understanding of the term plagiarism. Plagiarism has two parts. The first one is taking phrases or ideas from a scientific source and reference. You may question this part because when you have citation and referencing, this part has no problem. And it is a kind of research ethics. But the second one, not naming the scientific source and reference that has been used, this is the reason why we should look at some parts of the work as plagiarism. As a kind of intellectual theft or idea theft. It is, you know that when we call some people thieves, we should know that those people who have intellectual or idea theft are also some thieves, and there is no difference between them because they are using the other people's ideas in order to justify themselves. Deliberate manipulation to accidental copying. And you know that some people are deliberately changing the methods and results in order to meet their objectives. Sometimes they are accidentally copying the results of some people's text, and there are some differences between these two people. And the second one is the result of ignorance, which should be trained and educated. There is some kind of dishonesty that leads to the deception of readers, which is detectable. Most of the university professors have almost good ideas about making and detecting plagiarism. For example, if you are looking between the lines of the writer's works, you can see that there are some sentences which are not originally a student's work. These are easily detectable from the student's works. And many people do not consider copying and pasting from the net as plagiarism. Years ago, I had a student. I asked him, in order to improve his scores. He said that I cannot, because there are some problems that I cannot learn English. You know that we have multiple intelligences, and language intelligence is not all to anybody. And he said that instead of learning English, I can deliver lectures, I can give you some papers, and I can publish those papers in some good journals. And it was interesting for me. I said that, please send me some papers in order to evaluate them. And when he sent them, I saw that almost every single sentence of the paper was from other people's ideas. And therefore, I said that it is a real case of plagiarism. It told me that, no, I have selected these simple sentences from the net. And I found that he is not aware of the fact that copying and pasting is a kind of plagiarism. He thought that when you are copying, you are working on it. But we should know that every single sentence or idea that we are using from others' ideas should be qualified by our referencing. Okay, why do people make plagiarism? Why do we need plagiarism? The first one is lack of research skills. Most people do not have some such research skills, and they are falsified in the way of making some good research articles. The other is difficulties in evaluating online resources. They do not know how to, for example, code, how to cite, how to make references, and how to evaluate online sources in order to know the credited ones. Note taking without insight. Sometimes they have problems in time management and planning. They do not know how to make notes, take notes, and how to organize them in a good way. For example, you know that most of the universities of the world are asking the students to produce papers, and lots of, for example, PhD students are making lots of papers in one semester. Therefore, in some parts of their works, there may be some plagiarism, and they do not know, for example, where they have borrowed this sentence, and after a time they forget it, and it becomes one of their initial sentences. Hence, it is a kind of plagiarism without enough attention, not deliberate action. Different ways of plagiarism: borrowing others' ideas and making mistakes in figuring them out, embedding others' ideas within your ideas without referring to them, delivering a work which was previously delivered in other contexts. It is the third one is related to students or some people who are delivering one work for all of the people. For example, when they are dealing with a professor in one semester, they deliver the work, and after another semester, another work of the same person is given by that topic and that content, and it is a kind of plagiarism. The last one is making mistakes in paraphrasing and understanding the main idea. It is another important technique that you can use in order to qualify your papers. Paraphrasing is a perfect strategy to avoid plagiarism, which is going to be discussed later on in this paper. Common examples of plagiarism: downloading free information resources. Be aware of downloading, copying articles from the net and public information sources, copying and arranging several texts together as a new text, using wrong references, changing information and data. Different models of research misconduct. Okay, research misconduct is categorized into several cases. The first ones are self-plagiarism and self-citation. Self-plagiarism is the action that a person uses his own previously published sources in order to write a new papers. For example, sometimes the people are using their own ideas. For example, they have published a paper 2 years ago. Now they think that it belongs to themselves, and therefore they do not change it, revise it, and they use those sentences as a kind of self-plagiarism, which should be avoided. Self-citation. It's another kind of misconduct in research. And it happens when you refer to different works of yourself. For example, you have published several works, your friends have published several works, and you are citing them over and over in order to show that these works are important, while you should have thought about different other ways of referring to those works. Data fabrication, as we talked about previously, data fabrication is another kind of research misconduct. In data fabrication, you are changing the way of your research in order to meet your needs and align it with your data. Sometimes the data are encoded in a way in order to meet your research questions. However, sometimes when you do not have the research questions met, you are changing the data. It is another misconduct in the field of research, and a Korean researcher called Wong reached a revolutionary result in science. However, after some experimentation, it was found that it was a kind of data fabrication, and his work was rejected, and he entered the blacklist of the researchers. Another kind of research misconduct is salami slicing. In salami slicing, you have one work and you are slicing it into several papers in order to publish it in several journals. However, salami slicing is not always a bad thing, and sometimes you can use it. For example, sometimes you have a comprehensive study and you cannot publish it in just one article. There are some multidimensional results, and you have to publish each section in some specific papers. Therefore, in salami slicing, there are some virtues and some vices. For example, if you have the same project with same participants, samples, methods, questions, and findings, you should avoid it because it's a kind of plagiarism. However, if in some different situations and different purposes you have come to some comprehensive studies. For example, you can publish part of your study in seminar or congress, or publish the research in some other languages in order to avoid plagiarism. However, you should be careful about self-mislicing. Basic strategy against plagiarism. We should reduce the motivation of the people. For example, if there are some university candidates who want to enter, for example, the PhD level, you should warn them that if there are any misconducts in your research, you may be mistrusted by their organizers, and you may have some negative scores. There are some effective and accurate identification of the committed fraud. For example, you should warn the researchers that you are equipped with some first-hand anti-plagiarism devices in order to detect them, and then you can deal with offending people with some downgrading scores in order to make them not violate the data. Avoiding plagiarism. In avoiding plagiarism, we should be knowledgeable enough about the referencing skills. We should know how to make references. We should know about paraphrasing based on problem, cause, solution order. We should also make the people committed to those standards, for example, through joining committees on publication ethics, or referring to plagiarism detection systems like Authenticate, Turnitin, or Archive. Training and learning the right method of research, and searching for resources and sources. It is another important idea that we should make our learners familiar with the methods of research, and awareness of how to convey a message, getting to know how to mention the reference, and familiarity with how to interpret a text are for other methods of avoiding plagiarism. Recognition of sources. In order to credit the sources, we should know the quotation, citation, footnotes, endnotes, giving references, distinguishing scientific texts from other texts, and considering part of power for scientific research. Sometimes you are not obliged to publish for scientific journals. Therefore, you can have some other methods. But whenever you are doing some scientific research, you should be aware that every single sentence is going to be evaluated, and after publishing you are not free, because sometimes you can see that after a few years your ideas are going to be pondered through different developed methods. Therefore, you should be careful about whatever you say. Direct, indirect quotation and summarizing is another way of making your paper credited. Indirect quotation, rewriting and retelling the passage. And sometimes you can say the original meaning provided by the researcher in some other ways in order to avoid plagiarism. When we combine the information and content of the source in our writing and write in our own words, we have transmitted the word indirectly. Therefore, we need to summarize and make some references to the original articles. Okay, there are some legal penalties and punishments throughout the world, and I don't know whether in your country, in India, we have some methods to punish those people who have misconducted ethically in their research or not. But in most of the world's universities, there are some committees who have to detect the academic misconduct of students and professors, and sometimes there are suspension from the studies or completion of the studies. There are some expulsion from the students, and there are also some students may lose their grades and their scores, and they cannot achieve the higher levels. Joining committees on publication ethics. You know that the first thing we should do is that sometimes we have to know those people who are careful about the method they are doing, and they are signing and confirming research ethics. We should know that if we are making some decisions based on the people's identities, we can reach better results if we are dealing with human beings. For example, we can ask them to join international committees like COPE or DOAJ, Committee on Publication Ethics, or Directory of Open Access Journals, in order to make their research clear for everybody, and in order to ask for some consents to talk about the honesty of their research papers, and give some publication rights to journals in order to deal with the different papers, and also making clear the conflict of interest of the people who are writing, who are helping and cooperating with each other in order to publish a paper. And we should say that no other parties are responsible for this study, and the people are doing the research by themselves. Okay, about the ethical considerations that we talked about, we should say that the author is responsible for the accuracy of the information and the content of the research articles and the books, and he should accept the research accuracy as a whole work. And by publishing, they claim that their scientific and literary content is not published by any other people and in any other journals. Okay, therefore, they should obtain necessary permits from the university and related officials, and the researcher's explanation should be conducted based on a research plan, and all of the people dealing with the research should sign an informed consent to take part in the research gathering and publishing. And we should also ensure confidentiality. By confidentiality, we mean that all of the members should be given credit that none of the information is published in any other ways, and all of the information is going to be kept as a secret. Giving the option to leave the study at any time. This is another important case for the samples, that if they are unwilling to carry out the research project, they can leave the research. Okay, there are some advanced methods of detecting plagiarism, and we should make our learners aware of these advanced methods. Authenticate, Turnitin, Archive, Safe Sign, Double Checker. These are some high-level and qualified anti-plagiarism devices. There are some free plagiarism detectors. For example, Double Checker is free to use. Anti-plagiarism, PaperRater, Plagiarism Checker, and Viper. These are some other free plagiarism detectors that if you are interested in knowing about your research article and its level of plagiarism, you can use these free plagiarism detectors. For example, look at this paper from Authenticate. It showed that around 11% of the research article is plagiarism, and it is a good level for a dissertation. And for a dissertation, if you have less than 15%, it is acceptable. However, for a research article, you should not overestimate your way of making plagiarism as high as 6%. And if you your research shows that your plagiarism level exceeds this level, you should think about reducing this amount. For example, number 2, T&F Online. It is 1%, and it is number 2 here. Are there any significant relationship between Iranian learners' identity processing styles? You know that such sentences in research questions are not any problems for the research articles. Therefore, in such cases, you can overlook such sentences because they are in common among the research articles. Page from Turnitin, you can see that in Turnitin, you are given a full option of different plagiarism detection sources, and you can see that different sentences are highlighted. It is another good website in order to detect plagiarism. DoubleChecker free online plagiarism. You upload your research paper here, and then you can search that which parts of your research articles are plagiarism. And document analysis. As I said, after you have submitted your papers, there are some journals who may ask for some additional information from you in order to detect whether you have done any misbehavior or not. Sorry. For example, you should give your data bank patient documents, micro outputs of analysis, and raw data of your study in order to ensure that all of the different steps are done in ethical way, and you haven't done anything which is a case of misconduct in research, in conducting research articles. Okay, there are some ways to change the way. For example, we should grant the right to publish the article in related magazines. The author's explicit declaration based on the authenticity and originality of the article, and confirming that the article has not been copied from another article, has not been published in another magazine, and has not been sent for publication. And if these criteria are not met, the journal has to reject the article and put the author's name in their blacklist, and also inform some other, for example, those committees who are dealing with plagiarism in order to warn those people to avoid plagiarism. Okay, here you can see an original text and plagiarized version, and also acceptable version. In original text, you can see that all of the sentences are written, and the person who has plagiarized it has copied and pasted it. Even if he uses the same sentences, and he uses some method, for example, he uses paraphrasing. Again, it is a kind of plagiarism if he is not making references. However, the acceptable version here is the one that is quoted within the quotation marks, and at the end we have some referencing to the work and even to the page. And if you do not want to have the page number and quotation mark, you have to paraphrase the paper. However, you need to refer it, you have some direct reference to the person who has been borrowed, whose ideas are borrowed by you. And paraphrasing. In paraphrasing, we have different options. For example, in this sentence, you can see that there are different ways of making paraphrase. Here you can see that 3 different sentences are taken from the work of three different authors. The first one is by Dornier and Yoshida, and you can see that this idea, this phrase is taken by these authors. The next is by Peterson, and you can see that this little phrase is taken by Peterson and Poyas et al. When we have more than two authors, we use et al. In our writing, and you can see that Poyas et al. Has their idea is paraphrased here, and in one single paragraph we have three paraphrasing, and all of them are embedded into one short paragraph. And you can use different paraphrasing methods, and it is a good technique to use the related source books in order to have good paraphrasing power and avoid plagiarism. Okay, for final comments. The most important thing about avoiding plagiarism is that we should improve the awareness and knowledge of the learners about serious moral misconducts. And as we said previously, most of the learners do not know that they are doing misconduct. Sometimes they are borrowing the ideas of, for example, a cartoon, a movie, a song. They do not know that they should, whenever they refer to those ideas, they should have good reference. And hence, we should teach the learners in order to have some ethical issues remained within the students. Teaching research ethical issues in school and university courses. I think that there should be some credits given to the teachers, to the university professors in order to talk about these issues in writing. They should make the learners aware of the fact that not all of the sentences in their writing are from themselves. And it is acceptable, because when we want to give credit to our ideas, we can use, for example, consensus from an organization. It is a good way. However, we should cite it. We should refer to the source that we have used, and there should be some credits in order to prevent the occurrence of unwanted scientific plagiarism. As I said, most of the scientific plagiarism is done through inadvertently by unwanted misconducts that we are expecting our works to be evaluated. However, we are making our works worse. And finally, we should resist against any kind of fraudulent actions, and we should have some punishments, and we should inform the learners beforehand. When we start our course, we should talk about the punishment and the way we are dealing with such fraudulent actions. For example, there are some rules that the students may lose their scores, or even they may be kicked out of the class if they are repeating the actions. And everybody should accept them as some general guidelines and rules. And finally, we are giving the references that we have used, different references. It's then another kind of making anti-plagiarism techniques in order to make you familiar with how to have final reference lists in order to avoid plagiarism. And thank you all for having such a patience, and in order to listen to the presentation. And thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your beautiful presentation on the crucial subject of avoiding plagiarism. I believe your talk on the topic was incredibly beneficial to all the participants. Thank you once again, sir. Now,
Thank you too.
I would like to welcome participants to ask any questions about the presentation. So from the participants, if any questions are there, you can ask from the resource person.
Hello.
Hello too.
Hello. I want to just talk to the convener, sir, that all these recordings and these presentations should be given us to should be sent to our email so that we can revise it later. I want to
Okay,
talk to
noted.
the
Okay.
convener, sir.
Okay, ma'am. We got it, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Please, sir, send us the recordings and the presentation so that we can revise it.
Okay, ma'am. As you know, this is a collaboration with Cap Comorin Trust. So I will request the president of Cap Comorin Trust to kindly do the favor. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, do we have hopes that we will get the recordings and presentations?
Regarding recordings, I think if Sir Dr. Rezin Silvest is here, I think he can reply it in a better way.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am. You don't worry. You will get presentation. We will share it on WhatsApp group.
okay. And what about the recordings, ma'am?
Recording you will get after 1 month. We have a YouTube channel and we upload all lectures there. You don't worry. We will
Okay,
share
thank you
also a YouTube channel link there.
Okay, then it's okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Is there any questions from
Yeah,
other
I want
participants?
to ask one question. Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr.
Yeah.
Bora.
Hello, sir. Sir, I have a question. Is there any permitted plagiarism limit for the research papers, sir?
Okay, whenever we are conducting some research articles, there are no limit if you are not crossing the lines. If you are within the lines, there's no limit. There are some general guidelines to conduct some research articles based on some rules. If you are dealing with the rules, and if you are knowing the rules, for example, it's as if that you are driving in your own country. You are paying attention to the rules. However, if you are driving in some other countries, you should pay attention to those rules. In case that you are dealing with them, there is no problem.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a second question. Is similarity index and plagiarism the same term or both are different, sir?
Okay, there are some indexes like similarity index. For example, the similarity index shows that to what extent your ideas are similar to some other, for example, works and papers. And it is an index to show your way of making plagiarism. If the similarity index is higher, then your plagiarism level is higher too. However, these are different ideas. For example, plagiarism may be hidden within the text, within the paper, and nobody can detect it. And you know that this is not your own ideas. However, similarity index is absolute and explicit way of making plagiarism.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This is Safer than Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah. Sir, I have a question. Suppose if we take a support of any AI, artificial intelligence, even that content will be considered as a plagiarism and how far it will be taken into consideration.
Mr. Burke, can you help me? I didn't
Yeah,
understand.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, your network is not stable. Your voice is not coming
Am,
properly.
am
Can
I
you?
audible now? Am I
You are
audible now?
audible, madam. Yes, yes.
Okay. My question is that suppose if we take the help of an artificial intelligence, AI, how
Okay.
far will it be considered as a plagiarism?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
I got it.
Yes.
You are talking about AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, all of the different websites are using artificial intelligence in order to detect plagiarism. However, there are some ways in order to make these artificial intelligence unable to detect or different plagiarism levels. For example, you can paraphrase your words. You can put your sentences in other orders. And if you do this, the artificial intelligence is unable to detect your plagiarism. Therefore, other than artificial intelligence, we need some other methods. For example, some experts in the field who know about the different data manipulation systems. And there should be some other ways. For example, the journals should ask for some additional information like the method section and extra information like data from the participants in order to detect the plagiarism.
I believe so. So suppose this is my experience. Suppose when we use the AI and make a content, when we check the plagiarism methodology, obviously, suppose let us imagine if it is 30 to 35% visibility is data, and it shows that it is not an illegal. How far it is considered generally? So we manipulate all the sentence structure, everything.
Okay. I think Dr. Bora can help you with this question, yes?
Excuse me, sir.
Dr. Bora, I couldn't figure out the question. Could you please explain it again?
Yeah, exactly, sir. Suppose using a AI, let us imagine I have written an article and I submitted, I want to check my plagiarism methodology. And my AI percentage is like a 20 to 25%. In a plagiarism report, will it be considered as a plagiarism or not? Or it should be avoided?
Okay, you know that there may be some levels of plagiarism in your work. It's no problem. Sometimes there are some sentences which are in common between some research papers. And for example, as we said, there are some research questions whose ideas are the same despite the differences. Therefore, in every single paper, you can see different levels of plagiarism, and nobody can claim that I have written a paper which is original to me without making plagiarism, because there are some similarity between papers, and these similarities are, I think they are normal. There's no problem with these. In case that you are using a good method of referencing, citation, there's no problem.
Fine, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And thank you too. You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir. Hello. Can you hear my voice?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Mr.
sir. I
Aniket.
have one little question. If in some article, if we find the plagiarism in name or surname, then what we can do in name or surname?
Okay. In our paper, we introduced you some anti-plagiarism devices. For example, there are some websites and general resources that you can use in order to detect the plagiarism level of your paper. For example, Authenticate. This is one of the best ways to detect the plagiarism rate of your paper. Turnitin, Authenticate, Archive. You can refer to
Okay.
them, you can upload your paper. But however, if you want to have some free plagiarism detectors, you can refer to some other pages, for example, Viper and Duplicate Finder. These are other resources that you can use.
Okay, sir. And sir, one little bit other question is, if I use the quill bolt or some other paraphraser to reduce the plagiarism, then it is okay, or we can manually reduce.
First, you should know which sentences do not belong to you. If you are aware of the sentences that are not yours, you can do it yourself, but sometimes they are hidden among our sentences. Therefore, we need some other sources in order to detect those single sentences which are not ours.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you too.
I think we don't have any questions from the participants. Okay, then I want to thank the panelists for this amazing and enlightening conversation. I'm confident that everyone who attended has profited greatly from the discussions. Thank you very much, sir, and all the participants. Now
Thank you too.
we will. Thank you very much, sir. Now we will move on to the next session. And again, I would like to request Mr. Bhaskar Jyoti Bora, the workshop coordinator, to introduce the second resource person. Sir. Unmute your.
Yeah. Am I audible now, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, sir. We have amidst us today another resource person, Ma'am Dr. Amrinder Kaur. Ma'am Dr. Amrinder Kaur received her BTech degree in electrical engineering from Punjab Technical University in 2002 and MTech degree in power systems from YMCA University of Science and Technology in 2013. She had completed her PhD from Punjab Technical University, India. She has more than 18 years of teaching industrial experience and presently working as associate professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Faculty of Engineering and Technology of Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad, India. Her main areas of interest are electrical machines, electrical vehicles, power system, artificial intelligence, intelligent control, etc. Ma'am has 25 research papers in various Scopus, SCI, and international referral journals. Now, I would like to invite Ma'am Dr. Amrinder Kaur to deliver her talk on the topic, online tools for research. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Mr. Bhaskar. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah. Thank you. My screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
So my today topics, as discussed by Mr. Bhaskar, is online tools for research. Research is undoubtedly one of the most painstaking and thorough process, irrespective of what is your discipline. Likely, I am from the engineering background, or some you are from management, or from commerce, from other background, or any stage of work or career. Research can be an arduous and time-consuming work, right from browsing the library shelves and internet for literatures, performing experiments, writing papers, to publishing papers. Researchers are always running with the clock hands. No matter what your field of research, there is an online tool out there to help you organize your notes, cite your sources, find important articles, connect with colleagues, and much more. But we have so many options available at our mouse click, so it's pretty difficult to find out a tool that delivers the best result. As the search for reliable sources can be frustrating at certain times, so we will discuss today the feature of 12 most recommended online tools for searches at all stages of academia. So what we will discuss first, we will discuss what is the need of online tools for researcher. Then we'll discuss most important online tools for searchers, your project management tools, your grammar checker tools, reference management tools, plagiarism checkers, journal finders, and your social networking for academics. So first we will discuss what is the need of online tool for the researchers. Regardless of whatsoever is your research area, every researcher today focuses on managing various tasks. He is delivering various productive results. He need to utilize the time efficiently. And after once the research is done, he need to document that research also in a publication, because without research paper, today research is not worthy. You need to document it and publish it, and that too in a proper journal. All these require a well-planned and organized system, which is achieved by monitoring the progress and collaboration of your project, finding literatures, writing your project proposals, reports, articles, then avoiding language errors, then citing original sources. Then you need to build up a network to get the data, to testing the data. Then you need to search for journals for publication. How do you plan all these things? And how you are going to handle all these things by yourself? The first sort is we will going to surf the network, internet, to find a solution. So we have several online tools for searchers. We make these things easy most. So with these unaccountable information available online, sometimes it can be time-consuming nightmare to evaluate what works and what does not work. So we will discuss few tools which you can use in your research. So first one is your project management tools. Whenever you're doing a research, that is a kind of project. You need to manage it well. So if you're going to manage it well, then obviously the result will be fast and it will be okay also. So project management is a set of proven techniques for proposing, implementing, managing and evaluating projects, combining with the art of managing people. These tools are used to manage project progress, resource application, collaboration processes. It involves creating a radical task list and following up for task completion, then setting deadlines for getting result at times, then formatting plan of action to achieve these deadlines, then assigning resources for the same. Two of the most popular and reliable project management tools in that are used in academia are your Trello and GrantPro. So we'll discuss what is Trello and what are the advantages of this, how we can use this. Trello is basically a site which allows user to organize their idea through use of panels, cards, and lists. It is easy system to simply drag and drop card. You need to simply drag. You can easily do this in the Excel, just like that. You can do the same in the Trello also. It allows user to list and schedule activity, establish completion times, and view progress percentage. The user can create multiple boards for different subjects. So it can save the board in the clouds as well as in user profile, just like we share in the Google Sheets. The sheet can be accessed by various person along with you have shared. It can be edited by the other person also if you're given the editing right also. Just like that, in case of Trello, the team, all of the team which is working on the project, they can assess the project progress and the various steps at which the search is right now. It offers free and paid version both depending upon what is the requirement. So user can choose as per his requirement. The next one is your GrantPro. GrantPro is online chart for project management that allow intuitive creation of schedules. It is a paid software, unlike your Trello, which offer both free and paid version. It was only offering a trial version for you. It allows some division of major tasks into minor tasks, so project can be divided, and accordingly, team can be assigned the task according to their specialization. So that is a major benefit of this. And it also offers cost calculation per task. When we are using this Gantt chart, you can immediately see all the information you need on your chart, including your team tasks, their sequences, deadlines, and their priorities also. It is again hosted in cloud, so it can be easily accessed for every member using any web browser, just like your Trello. Then comes your grammar checker tools. Once you're going to publish your research, then we need to write it. So grammar check is necessary so that it is easy to understand, because even a simple uh, form of your verb can change the meaning of a sentence. So grammar checker tools are necessary. These are used to detect the grammatical, spelling, punctuation, sentence formation error. Its purpose is basically to enhance the language of a paper in question. Given the need of hours, as the internet is overflowing with several grammar checking tools that just fixes and explain the nature of suggested fixes. For knowledge to be disseminated, it is essential that literature is written correctly, especially for non-native researchers. The use of grammar checker tool is a must. Most researchers, those are not familiar with, say, English language, they're writing in their mother tongue or some other native language, they need to use this grammar checking tools so that their search can be widely published and it cannot lead to conflict in the coming times. So it can be published properly at a proper front. Two most openly used grammar checker tools are your Trinka and your Grammarly. The first we will discuss your Trinka. Trinka is first grammar and language improvement tools designed specifically for academia and technical writing. It is unique as it not only checks the grammar, punctuation, and spelling, but it also provides explanation for correcting errors. It offers free version that include access to all its features. The paid version offers uninterrupted uses and highly monthly limits along with the access to add-in for the MS Words. We all mostly use MS Word for writing the articles. So it has an added advantage that it helps with the MS Word also. It allows you to choose between the US and UK style to make it easily accessible for the researcher all over the world. Its custom built feature such as your maintaining academic tone, providing unbiased language, concept clarity, sentence structure, and alternative word choice make it better than most of the grammar checking tools. It offers subject-specific correction, select style guides, and 20 plus publication readiness checks. It provides detailed explanation as to why a sentence should be rewritten or why it should be changed. So it helps a researcher in reducing the word count by suggesting the alternative without changing the context. If you say you're using some paraphrasing, something like that, again, paragraph rewriting, in that case, sometimes the meaning of whole sentence is going to be changed. So in that case, the software like Trinka AI, they help to keep the context of the sentence in the same, and again, avoiding plagiarism and rewriting it with the few words also. The next one is your Grammarly. Grammarly is nowadays quite popular. Most of you must be familiar with this also. So it is a popular browser application used to check grammar, punctuation, context, sentence structure, and readability. It is a real-time plagiarism detector on various platforms, including MS Word, WordPress, Facebook. It is available in free and paid version. The free version offers basic spelling and grammar check, as well as some suggestions, while the paid version offers the basic revision, vocabulary improvements, suggestions. Additionally, it provides citation suggestion also and can detect the plagiarisms. So it helps to avoid the plagiarism also, which is one of the basic problems in the research paper when we are writing. The next come here, reference management tool. At each and every end of every publications, we do write the references. So whatever literature we have used to write up our publication, that need to be referred properly at the end of publications. So reference management tools help in managing the literature used for research development, thus offering an alternative to a time-consuming task for researchers. Most of you must have used in Word also how to write the references. Few templates are already available in the Word also, but nowadays this is advanced version which helps you to write the reference in a proper way. This allows you to organize articles and their citations, share them with other searchers, detect duplicate entries, format the list of references, search and replace any references, and it allows also the researcher to correctly link and cite the work researched in their articles. There are many reference tools available online apart from the offline that we have discussed that is used in MS Word. Mendeley and EndNote are two widely used reference management tools. First, we will discuss here Mendeley. Mendeley is basically freely available reference management tool to streamline your reference management workflow. It allows you to store, organize, and search all your references in just one library and generate citations. It includes citation options using various writing styles, and it can be used as per your target journal. The program is compatible with Word, including Mac, LibreOffice, and OpenOffice. It can also be used with LaTeX, in which most of the technical papers have the requirement to be written. So in that case, it can be used to export your web text. Its version is also available with the Android. Along with your iOS, it is available with the Android also. So it feature of highlighting and attenuating PDF help in better organization of multiple documents at one place. So it is that is one of the reason also that is popular. The next comes your EndNote. The next popular one is your EndNote. EndNote is a paid reference management application. It allows the searcher to insert citation to text while simultaneously creating a bibliography with the site while you write, feature in the MS Word. As you write down, you put up the reference number, the same number will you put up in the reference list also in the references. It align and format the article as per the requirement of journals of interest using manuscript natures. It organizes the reference automatically and enables sharing of work among the remote computers. So that means you can share your work with the team also. Two or more persons simultaneously can work on the same paper also. The next important online tool that comes is your plagiarism checker. Plagiarism checkers. This is, we can say, which is required. Why? Because the academia world nowadays riddled with plagiarism. We can say it is not limited to the academia only. The plagiarism is everywhere. But academia is more prone to this because publication is maximum in case of your academia. So due to dizzying pace of publications, a researcher can unknowingly fall prey to the desired effect of your plagiarism to avoid getting your manuscript rejected and consequently affecting your image as a researcher. So it is wise to run your manuscript through a plagiarism checker tool. My fellow speaker has also discussed the plagiarism checker tools. So I strongly advise to first check your plagiarism. Most of journals nowadays, so I will say 80% journals have a requirement of plagiarism less than 10%. Few allow up to 15%, but not more than 50% is allowed in any journal if it is a peer and referred journal. That is 100% sure. So these tools cannot only help you in checking plagiarism content, but these also help in identifying potential collaboration with researchers that belong to the same field. So supposedly you detect a plagiarism by using any of these means. You can connect with the author also. You can get a better idea. You can share with the idea. You can get a more thorough view about your point. And if that person allow, with the permission of that person, you can use that also. So it is not so that if some person say you're drawing a figure, yeah, you can borrow the figure, but you need to cite that. You need to write down. You need to give credit for the same. It is not so that each and every word in the search is going to be authenticate any new word. So idea, get one idea from other idea. So obviously from the previous ideas, some word will be there, but you need to write it properly so that it should not be look like a purely idea of someone else. So what we can use a plagiarism checker tool. So we can use as Enago and duplicate checkers. These are the few tools which can be used for plagiarism checking. First, I will discuss you Enago plagiarism checker. It is a unique tool which is used for quick, comprehensive, and dependable plagiarism checking, especially for the research. It helps you assess the originality of manuscript using advanced plagiarism software. Provides a report highlighting area in your text. If program recognize existing material in it, it is easy to assess with one-click upload button. It includes AI-based grammar checking that check your documents for grammar error, typical to academic writing, and provide a tracked change file that you can download and review. In addition, its power editing mode enhances your documents by correcting sentence structure, word choice, and subject-specific phrasing. Its extensive scholarly database of over 91 plus billion web pages and 82 plus millions published articles ensure that a thorough plagiarism check as compared to other checkers. This tool is cost-effective with most reliable result. More importantly, a detailed, interactive, colored, coded, and plagiarism percentage report can be reviewed online. It can be also downloaded in the PDF form. Just one of the example is here that my fellow speaker has cited you from iAuthenticates. It shares the color coding that this phrase is copied from this person paper. So it is easy to identify that where your research idea is matching if it is not a intentional plagiarism. Please remember the word intentional plagiarism. Two people intentionally use that word. So that is intentional plagiarism. Otherwise, your ideas can match or some common words can match. So we need to do it effectively when we are using the plagiarism checkers. Then we're going to discuss your next is your duplicate checker. The next plagiarism checker is your duplicate checker. Duplicate checker is again a free version up to a text of 1,000 words. It is not going to check your whole of document in the one. If we are using a free version, for paid version, you can check your article in the one go. It provides plagiarism percentage and highlights similar content to the list of sources, but it does not provide a detailed report. It is a limited database as compared to other duplicate checkers or your other plagiarism checkers. So it can only compare your documents to the internet sources or online books. Or say few are those articles, those are not available for open access. In that case, duplicate checker will not be able to help you, because if some article is not available for open access, so that means it is not freely available for online. In that case, duplicate checker cannot help. If we need to go for other plagiarism checkers, just like your Turnitin or iAuthenticates. Turnitin is one of the most trusted duplicate checker, plagiarism checker in the academia work. all of you who have gone through the search area, you must be knowing that Turnitin is used to authenticate the theses in the universities and institutes. It scans through millions of sources to compare. It is also going to provide you with the Grammarly check also, checks common spellings and grammar errors. It helps instructor to allow resubmitting and receiving revised reports. Suppose you are a PhD supervisor, you can easily check the thesis work of your student or some research work of your student by using your Turnitin. You can again assign the assignment to your student and check it, and the originality of article can be easily checked by this online tool. It helps instructor to give feedback on research in a short way. This is one of the most popular which is used in the university institute to authenticate any thesis or research work. So once you have done with your research, so you have done your line up your project, you have done the references, you have done with the plagiarism checker. The next thing is you need to publish your article. Where you are going to publish your article. So for that, we need a proper journal. To find out a journal is just to find out a, you can say, very, very important. If you can line up with a proper journal, your research can be published in a lesser time period. So one of the thing is this, that we need to go with the journal which is going to best match with my research area. So journal finding, because one of the common reason for rejection is your the subject of research is not within those contemplated by the journal. Suppose the journal is with the social sciences. I am sending a paper of your chemical sciences. Obviously, the paper is going to be rejected at the first level itself. So the journal search engine help researchers to choose the best suitable journal for publishing their research. So these tools are very useful to avoid getting involved in a manuscript submission process that will be wrong from the beginning itself. There are steps when you submit a manuscript. The peered or referred journals can take a time up to nearly 1.5 years for accepting a manuscript. So if you are rejected at the first step, which may begin after a say 4 to 6 weeks, that means your 6 weeks are gone out of that time period. So to avoid that loss of time period, we first need to nail the journal which is going to be best with our research area. So first one that we can use is your Inago Open Access Journal Finder, and other one that we can use is your Elsevier Journal Finder. So Inago OAGF is Open Access Journal Finder. Inago OAGF, Inago Open Access Journal Finder. It is freely available tool that protects you from falling prey to predatory publishers. It solves issues such as journal legitimacy, because few journals are fraud also. You may see this with the journal with the same name, but a slight difference is IS number, and they can mislead to the new researchers who are going to publish their research. So this report also it also reports article processing fees through a journal index validated and issued by Directory of Open Access Journals. Most of the journals, if you're going to publish in open access articles, have a APC, article processing charges. So that depend upon the journals. So few times it so happened that your paper is going to be accepted. At the end of this, you find that there is a fees to publish that research paper, and few journal even charges fees when the paper go beyond certain number of pages. Say up to 10 pages, it's free. Afterward, the per page there are certain charges. So if you are belonging to some developing countries, you may find difficult to finance that portion. So in that case, this can find you. This can help you with the at the initial level itself, that how much fee you need to pay if you are going further along with this journal. So it is exclusive search engine, search algorithms that allow you to compile a concise list of journals related to your research work. Another popular journal finder that is mostly used in your science and social sciences also, that is your Elsevier journal finders. It allows you to enter the title and abstract of your article. By just adding that, you can see the matching score of your publication. The matching score, along with that, can also give you the rejection rate of that journal. So you can easily find out what is the chances of your article to be accepted. Then it also provide you the time period, time starting from first season. Say any journal is taking time for first season is say 4 weeks, and time for publication also and acceptance also. So you can even plan or you can manage your time also by using this Elsevier journal finder. It uses intelligent search technology and vocabulary specific to a corresponding research field to match your article to scientific journals. So it is one of the most popular tools that we use in the journal finders when we are going to publish our research. Then next comes your social networking for academics. When we are going to do the research, obviously we need to share our ideas, we need to take our ideas. So as the saying goes, that the research advances when it is shared. So to socialize, work networks are required. When research is going to be shared, connection exchange of idea between researcher is essentials. So to this thing, for socializing, work networks are a great help that increase collaborative effort at a distance. This makes it possible to publicize the profile of a researcher to the scientific community, as well as promote their research and establish links with other works team across the globe. Two of the most important academia networks are your academia.edu and ResearchGate. Out of these, academia.edu. Academia.edu is basically Academia.edu is a freely accessible platform for sharing research documents and connecting with academics across the globe. As of now, over 22 million articles and about 31 million academics, professionals, and researchers are active on this platform. Its algorithms generate about 20 million article recommendations per day. It is also possible to exchange knowledge in effective formats of videos, short content, data set. You can receive notification when you are cited and referred, and acknowledged as a co-author and express gratitude for your co-operations. It also offers you a web profile page which can easily work as your CV for further references. It can easily document your research at one place. So that web page can be freely accessed up to a certain limit. The next one is your ResearchGate. ResearchGate is again a freely available social networking area for the researchers. Here you can share your research with the other fellow persons. There are over 20 million researchers from more than 190 countries connecting through ResearchGate to collaborate and share their work. It also allows interactive conversation with the researchers on the platform. So most of the persons properly use these two. I hope either of you must be using this ResearchGate or some other social networking site. ResearchGate can be easily used to form a network of the researchers. You can ask for research papers from a fellow researcher on this as a private copy of that. There are a few other online tools that can be used. The first one, that is your Google Scholar. Google Scholar is a search online engine that allows researchers to find scholarly literature, including articles, theses, books, and conference papers. It provides a comprehensive database of academia sources across different disciplines, making it an indispensable tool for any researchers. Google Scholars will simply write down the name of any person, the affiliation of that person is available, the article of that person, those are cited or those are referred in journals. They are also available in the Google Scholar. So Google Scholar can provide you a identity as a researcher. The next one is your SurveyMonkey. SurveyMonkey SurveyMonkey is an online survey tool that allows researchers to create and distribute surveys. You can use Google Forms to create the surveys. That is the earliest form used for collecting the data when we are going to do some research based upon survey. Nowadays, advanced survey tools like your SurveyMonkey are available. It provides a wide range of survey templates, making it easy to design surveys for different purposes. It provides advanced features for data analysis, making it an essential tool for researchers who need to collect and analyze the data. The next one is your Zorato. Zorato is basically a free reference management tool that helps researchers organize their research materials, including their articles, books, and web pages. It allows researchers to save, annotate, and share their research materials, making it easy to keep track of their sources. Canva. Canva is basically a site which can be used to design your presentation. Once you've done a research, that is going to be present somewhere to make it easily understandable. Graphic is an easy tool to give your idea, you can say, shape. So it is an online graphic design tool that allows us to create visibility, visually appealing presentation and poster. It provides a wide range of elements, making it easy for researchers to create professional looking graphics without any design skills. So this is one of the most popular tools which can be used to design your PPTs, even when you are delivering a normal class lecture. So it can make your class lecture interesting by using this Canva tool. Then other one that we can use is also your Tableau. Tableau can be also used. It is a data visualization tool that allows searchers to create interactive charts, graphs, and dashboards. Tableau provides advanced features for data analysis, making it an essential tool for researchers who need to visualize and communicate their data effectively. So what we can say, that online tool can be very useful for research, but we need to follow certain rules. By using these tools, the researcher can save their time, organize their materials, and communicate their findings. But you need to follow these steps when we are using these tools. The first step is identify the type of research you needed to do. Before you start using any online tool, it is important to have a clear idea of what you want to research. Identify your research question or topic and what type of information you need to find out. When you are going to do the search on Google search engine, normal daily research, a plus sign can help to easily find out the topics by just creating a link between important times. You don't need to write down the whole line when you are searching on Google search engine. Simply write down the main content and establish a relationship between those by adding a plus sign or even a minus sign also. For excluding, you can use a minus sign. For including the topics, you can use a plus sign. You can see the research will be more refined. It will be topic specific and more, you can say the result will be refined and it can be easily used. Time saving, you can see the time by using this. The next one is your choose reliable online tool. We have discussed just the online tools. So many of online tools are available, but not all of them are reliable or Chatvasti. Just like we discussed previously, there are few journals having the same name but with a slight difference in their ISSN numbers. ISBN number difference, that means your journal is not same, but your searcher may get confused by the name. Similarly, there are various online tools. So we need to look for well-established tools that have good reviews and recommended by reputed sources. So few reliable examples we discussed already. Those are your Google Scholars and PubMed. You can use this. You can use Elsewhere also. You can use the Mendeley list also. You can use Clarivate list for the referred journal also. Whenever you are using these tools, be careful. Then use search operators. I've already discussed you the use of plus and minus, how to include a term in your search and how to exclude a term in your search. So to get a more specific search, more specific result from a search engine, use search operators. Suppose you're searching for a phrase. Remember always to put in the quotes. Suppose you are going to find out something for climate change, simply write down that these two words in the exclamatory marks. So if you want to exclude a word from that, use a minus word, climate change minus politics, so that there will be no topic of top politics related to the climate change will appear in your search. You purely get your science result. Those are related with the climate change. Nothing like the politics that is going on climate change will get that. Then use advanced search options. Most search engines have advanced search option that allow you to refine your search. You can search by date, language, file type, and more. When you are going to find out the search papers, you can specify the time period that from this time period to this time period, the papers can be helpful. So similarly, you can write down the language, specific language also, which you are going to find out the results. You can find out the result in form of file type. You're looking for a Excel data type. You're looking for a Word document, or you're looking for a presentation on the same topic. You can look for a PPT also. The next, once you search all these things, you need to save your search also. That is really important. So save your searches and bookmark the websites that is available on the top of each and every browser. So that will help you to easily open or easily access those websites again. So these, you can bookmark those website for relevant information. This will help you save the time and then also you to organize your research. The next thing, that is your analyze your sources. Once you have found the information, it is very, very important to evaluate its credibility and reliability. Check the credential of author, date of publication, and sources cited in the text, so that authenticate work can be used. Next thing, you find out the sources, you have analyzed this, you've done everything, then cite your sources. When you're using information from the internet, from the online sources, make sure to cite it properly. Follow the citation style recommended by your instructor or your publication unit, which is going to publish your research. That is really, really important, my friends, to have better visibility of your search without any plagiarism. So we can conclude that online tools have revolutionized the way search is being conducted. They have made it easier, faster, and more efficient for the searcher to collect, analyze, and present data. Overall, the use of online tools in a search can increase the efficiency and effectiveness of a search, making it easier to gather and analyze the data, collaborate with the others, and share findings with a wider audience. But it is important to use these tools wisely and verify accuracy and reliability of information obtained from these. To conclude this, I can say that online tools have made research more efficient and accessible than ever before. By using these online tools, researchers can save time, they can organize their material and communicate their findings effectively. If you are a researcher, you go for these tools and find out and organize your research in a better and way and use less time with the help of these. I welcome any question and answer from the audience if they have.
Hello.
Is there any? Yeah.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
sir.
ask.
I think this
Yeah.
was quite informative session. I think it's possible to get PDF version of the presentation so
Yeah,
that we
sure.
can revisit it. The reason is it's quite informative and certain things which we're not aware about. So we'll have to revisit while doing the research. We are just the beginners right now. So
Yeah, sure. I
we
will
would be
share.
using it frequently when we carry out detailed work. So I think it's good for us if we have a document with us, I think.
Yeah, sure. I will share this PDF with the Dr. Shalja and she can share
Sure.
with you.
Okay, thanks, Satan.
Any other questions?
Any
Ma'am,
questions from
yeah.
Mhm.
I have one request.
Yeah.
Can we get your email ID or any contact number so that in the future, if
Yeah, sir. It's
really-
very much there in my first slide.
yeah,
Yeah, sir. I'm a IEEE member. That
Yes,
is a
ma'am.
research organization for
Okay.
electrical electronics engineers. So I'm a member of that one also. It's going to help the researcher with this. My name
Yes, ma'am.
and my email ID.
Yes, ma'am.
I can write my phone number also here. Yes.
Is there
Yes.
any queries from the resource person? From the participants?
Okay, madam. Thank you very much.